Good morning. I'm not feeling great. My throat's kind of hurting. It's not as bad as it was last night. I've been kind of stuffed up, my nose and that. I've been having a harder time breathing. I'm almost maybe feeling feverish, but it'll be okay. So I just left the camping area a couple minutes ago. I actually got up a good bit later than yesterday, and I felt like I was really taking my time, but when I started walking, I left 10 minutes earlier than yesterday, so a little more efficient this morning, getting back in the groove. Stealth was still eating breakfast, and actually I think she was just cooking breakfast, and still had her tent and everything up, so I'll probably see her up at this water thing. The other two gentlemen, I passed them they hadn't started walking yet, but I have a feeling I'm gonna be moving slow today, so they'll probably pass me. I'm not gonna do as much as yesterday, I don't think. I think I'm hoping for more like 15 today, and then that'll leave an 8 tomorrow into Patagonia. But beautiful morning, warmer than it was yesterday, and I guess that means it's going to be a scorcher. I've only been filming the trail when it's been fairly smooth, but this is what a lot of it is. This is very steep. I know you can never tell in the camera, and it's all rock. A lot of the rocks are loose, so your feet slide back with every step. I'm at my high point for the day. I felt like I've been going just slow and steady because I'm not feeling great, but I've done 3.7 in about an hour and a half, so that's pretty good with that climb, I thought. Yeah, not feeling great, but it'll be all good. I'm gonna consolidate a little bit of water here into some different bottles and drink some more. I've got less than 2 miles to the water cache. So I'm just gonna sit here, see if I have cell service for a minute, and take a break and then get to walking. I had cell signal at that high spot, and I was able to update my far out comments. And this ain't good news. Like 2 or 2.5 days ago, there were 35 gallons at this water cache. There was a comment yesterday afternoon that there was only 9. That is not good, because I know there's at least 5 or 6 others behind me that are probably relying on that water. I know you're not supposed to rely on water caches, but as far as we can tell, there's no other water between here and Patagonia, and that's 20 more miles. So I don't know who else was ahead of me this morning that we haven't met, but I'm ahead of everybody that we know. So I don't know, hopefully I can get some water. If not, it is a trailhead with parking, and it is Saturday. So Stealth and I were talking yesterday, like if something happens, there's not enough water, we could probably get a hitch into town to get water, which I don't want to have to do that, but we'll have to do what we gotta do. Okay, here's the moment of truth, I guess. I don't know how much is in there, how many of those are full or empty. I'm just check. I got my water, and I got a nice rock here, recliner. Take a break here for a bit. I'm finally walking again. I took an hour break there. There was plenty of water for Stealth and I and the 2 other people that came while we were there. There's only a couple gallons left though. There's not much left. So hopefully somebody refills them before others start coming. So I've done like 6. I'm only gonna do like another 9, I think, today. So it's gonna be kind of leisurely. Probably do another 5 or so and then stop for lunch. Maybe less, I don't know. And then as long as we get 9, we'll have less than 10 miles in the morning into town. But I am carrying a full load of water, so this pack is heavy. But I don't know, I'm almost afraid to say that. I was going to say I think the trail is supposed to be a little easier this afternoon, but I've thought that yesterday and it was not the case, so we'll see. I was just walking along thinking here, it is so dry. Like, there's no signs of life really. On the PCT, like in Southern California, we did see like lots of little beetles and bugs on the ground. Saw snakes, saw lots of lizards. I haven't seen anything other than like in the higher elevations where it was like pine forest. Saw squirrels, saw those 2 deer. But for the most part, this is a harsh place. But I think this is a place I can do my first 360. Let's try this out. Started my 360 from. I just got startled. I was walking, the first cow I've seen. It's just standing under this tree, right by the trail. Looks like someone ditched a blanket. Y'all, this has been a slog. Just on this is actually a pretty nice level, not as rocky. A lot of it's up and down through little gullies, big chunky rocks, just like a farm road. I've only seen 2 cows, but about 2 million cow patties. Starting to not feel great again with this heat and dry air, I think. And I'm trying to drink, or I want to drink a lot more than I'm letting myself because of this water rationing situation. But there's a possibility that there's water by a gate up here. On my far out, there were no comments, but I think it was Stealth or one of the section hikers, I don't remember which. Their far out mentioned something, it was a week or so old. It said something about water, but it was very not specific. So if there's a decent amount of water, I will stop and hydrate. It is 2 o'clock. Had a lovely place here. Had lunch. There's some water right over here, but it's not very good. It's kind of murky. And apparently now I have far out comments again, and some others were looking. We think there's a reliable tank or something at one point, something from here. So we're gonna go there and get water, and then see how far we can get tonight. I said earlier that the plan was to try to just get within like 9 miles of town, but now there's talk of breakfast or something in town tomorrow, so we need to get closer maybe. Do you even know what time breakfast is?
I mean, it's before 12.
Before 12, okay. It's Sunday, maybe I'll go later.
Brunch.
So anyway, now we're gonna get going again, and I do have some Nerds gummy clusters that I'm pretty excited about for the afternoon. And apparently if we go 6 miles, it's only like 200 feet of climbing. But I don't know if that's gonna be true. Hold on, that's what you told me.
No. In about 5-6 miles, there is another like 600 feet of climbing.
Oh.
It's like undulating, and then at that point, there's a climb.
Well, something's gonna happen today. Here's our water. How's it going over there?
It's like peachy.
Peachy, like in color.
Exactly.
But you said it was loads better than it was.
Yeah, much better. Less peachy than it was before.
So there's like a plunger down there that you have to plunge down, and we let it run for a few, like a minute or so, and then it went from brown to, oh yeah, that's fairly clearish.
That's significantly better.
Yeah, you're gonna be so hydrated. I'm sorry, today is probably not a very exciting video. Me not feeling good, and then this is just a really rough stretch of trail. It's not hard. It's just so dry. And there's just cow bones and petrified cow poop everywhere. No other real signs of life. We saw a couple cows, like one at a time, sitting under shade. It's like a barren wasteland. I know the AZT has got some really beautiful parts, but I don't think this is it. But it is what it is. I gotta just put my head down and grind it out. And the sun is intense, my back's hurting my shoulders. It just feels like it's not a great day. But, you know, it's better to be out here than having a job, so there's always that. I think it'll all be better when I can get rid of this, whatever's going on with my sinuses. It is not cold. I just put the Senchi on because I wanted to take my sweaty shirt off. I actually was gonna look before I started the camera and I didn't. I think we did like 17 miles and we're like, I don't know, 7 or under 7 to town. Stealth had caught up and then passed me because I've been shuffling. And then, let's see, just back a little bit, maybe a quarter of a mile, she said she'd like to do a little further. And I said, well, I can go a little further. It's gonna be so hot to stop now anyway. But I said, there's no way I'm gonna make that climb. So if you wanna do that, I'll just see you in town. Well, then we didn't go very far. And down in this little canyon, there was some shade. And the section hiker guys that we've been bumping around with were set up here in the shade. So they're like, oh, I'll just stay here. So we talked for a few minutes and she started talking out loud. And I said, if you're trying to convince me, I was ready to be done 2 miles ago. She said she was trying to convince herself, but we all decided to stay here. We got a short morning tomorrow, and honestly, guys, I had a rough day. I'm not feeling very good, and I think it's going to be better in a day or two, hopefully. Hopefully it doesn't drag on too long, because it is really hard to get miles in this heat when you don't have any energy. I'm actually shocked that I got 17 today and before 5 o'clock, but I didn't feel good doing it. I'm gonna lay down for a few minutes before I even think about cooking dinner. At this point, I don't even feel like eating, but I need to eat. So I'll be back in a little bit. All right, so I'm gonna close this one out quick because we all had dinner together, 4 of us, and watched sunset, and I didn't come back until after dark. And now I'm ready to get this video edited and go to sleep. So have a good night, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow.